Welcome back everybody. Today we're going to go over every feature and sort of changes are coming to chapter 2. Let's get on with it. Start off with an assigned one, item schematics and rebalancing changes. Let's get into it. So in chapter 2 there's going to be item schematics. This will allow you to craft new things and that. Let's get into it. General rebalances and item schematics. We've also been working hard on rebalancing survival mode's gameplay, specifically the crafting recipes and how items are obtained during the course of the game. So the gameplay can flow better than ever before. Our latest addition to Scrap Mechanics features are schematics. When found, these collectible items will allow your craft bots to create additional items. Furthermore, we've been focusing on changing the way farming raids work, while reworking the existing hunger and hydration bars to be less annoying. More needs later. So instead of having everything unlocked immediately, you'll only have most likely the basics things unlocked at the start, and then also as you progress you'll get more schematics and be able to craft more. Next up on the list is quests. Let's get into it. So quests will allow you to essentially be a bit more guided through the story and will hopefully explain what's actually happening. Quests are coming. Progress on the new quest system for the next chapter is moving along. The quests in the chapter will guide you through the story by letting you continue playing at your own pace. We're also adding a dialogue system to the game, letting NPCs talk to you. We love how it feels and where it's heading. Here's an image of the player taking an incoming call. Also here we've got that, obviously the hidden farmer calling the player. Obviously they've blurred out the text, so they're not really showing any of the story elements yet. That'd be a surprise for chapter 2 most likely. But yeah, it's what it's gonna look like when you get called. It's not clear if you have to press a button before it happens or if it just happens instantly. I guess we'll find out in chapter 2. Next up is underground digging. Obviously this will be part of the mining island when you're in underground. But there's also a new feature. Underground digging essentially is just soft bits of bedrock where you'll be able to dig. Also here, plasma drills can work by digging through this, although we have also been told that explosive might be needed in some places to dig, so there's that as well. Three of these are obviously heightened to the gifts, so it's unclear if these are going to be the speed they want to aim for when digging, or if it's actually going to be a little slower or not. I guess we'll find out in chapter 2. Next up is probably what I requested feature, and that's Scalable Wedges. So scalable wedges, as you can see, can be done in all 3 dimensions. One thing to note, the blocks needed for these are actually scalable versions of the blocks, which can be crafted in the Sawbot. Wedge update. Shout out to the Wedge gang, we got a lot of requests about adding wedges and we are trying to find a good way of implementing them. So here's a little update on what we have so far. The problem has been that wedge scaling and removal in survival. It's a different system from the simple block scaling. But we'll keep testing things out and hopefully we'll find a good way that works in survival. The wedges will be included in the next chapter. Next up is a rework to an existing feature, and that's the beds and respawning. The bed has also got a reworked texture, but it will actually have a limited amount of respawns for the bed will break. By mechanics, the bed will get a redesign and a fix. Each bed will have 5 times use until it breaks. This is to counter some bed exploits where mechanics can avoid to eat and among other things. A very common thing some players were doing were, well, eat when at base, just don't eat or drink. It's obviously a little stupid, because you do end up dying a lot then, but obviously they're doing it to avoid having to get food in it. So obviously the beds in the crash ship and mechanic stations will most likely be infinite uses, so unless they also change those to be these beds or move them, it's unclear, but those beds will probably stay infinite. Next up is lighting changes. Let's get into it. So in chapter 2 there's going to be a new lighting system. As you can see the lights here, you can actually see a bit of light reflecting off the atmosphere in that. Also the light improvement in warehouses is going to be a pretty big one as there's lots of lights throughout those. These are most likely some older shots of the warehouse, or these are just unchanged parts. There as well, if you're curious if these are new warehouses. I think the bottom set of images are probably the best here. Got to see the GIFs, and they actually show some really nice lighting around these fans in it. And it moves through the atmospheric fog in it. And then the one at the very bottom. The top obviously has a low light at the end of the whips, and the scene that sort of gets flicker around because it obviously moves around a ton. This scene is pretty nice. New lighting system. This has been a long time coming, and it is almost done. The lighting system in Scrap Mechanic has been completely reworked for the next chapter. This significantly improves the game's visuals and further optimizes the frame rate for players. Now you can enjoy better performance even with high resolutions like 4K. We can now double the amount of light sources and are no longer limited to 24 cast shadows anymore. Any light that has cast shadows can now render in real time. But wait, there's more. We can also have volumetric lighting in our engine that looks stunning. Even the particles are volumetrically lit. This all helps create the look and the mood that we always wanted to evoke in Scrap Mechanic, especially in the next chapter. I really can't have my eyes away from this one, to be honest. I've seen the lighting just like whip around that. I don't know how intense that must be. Just see all this lighting going on around these tote bots, which you run away from. Next up is builder quests. Similar to regular quests, but these actually involve you building structures in your actual world. Let's get into it. Obviously, the build quest will take places at these all platforms around the world. Here, the guy obviously wants a lookout tower to be built. This guy doesn't have a name yet, curious. And also there's some sort of terminal here which probably initiates the quest. Builder quest. We know that the world of Scrap Mechanic Survival is pretty, but it's also pretty empty at the moment. That's all about to change with the new builder quest. While you're out exploring and collecting resources, you'll come across characters that need your help. You build a variety of things. Help them out and they'll have some great rewards in return. Have you ever noticed a lot of items say whether they're flammable or not? Well, that's because in chapter 2, there's fire. Into it. As we can see, this guy's trailer is very much on fire. But yeah, if we go down, we can see that the fire system is actually can do a lot. For example, this entire shack actually ends up going on fire. And is eventually burnt down. Iron Scrap Mechanic. Ever wondered what those flammable entries in the item description means? At long last, we have added fire game mechanic. Now, fire will spread if you do not put them out. And with the introduction to the red tote pots, we expect that things are going to get a lot more heated. This might be a good time to check whether your base is fireproof. We thought it might be interesting to also show you how the fire mechanic is in action. Fire is a lot of fun to play with in creative mode and it's certainly satisfying to watch. Yeah, also you're going to have to be careful about if you touch fire sources in the world. So the burnt biome, obviously there's a few fires still going on. And obviously by the crash ship currently, there are a few fires. Which might make starting the game a little interesting if you're not careful where you drive with that little scrap car you most likely build. Next up, they're adding new glass shaders to the game. So let's get into it. So glass shaders in the game are going to be improved a lot. Well, I think in the inside it's getting slightly tinted. This isn't just done to just the blocks, this also affects the capsules and other glass, anything else that has a glass shade on it. New glass. We haven't just been working on Scrap Mechanic content. After introducing the new and improved lighting system we mentioned in the last devlog, our elite team of graphics engineers have been working on updating the game's visuals according to modern standards. This time we're excited to introduce our newest glass shader, which allows in-game glass to shine and distort like real things, so your buildings, vehicles and other creations can look better than ever before. And that's just one of the graphical updates we've got in the works. There's more still in the works that have not been announced because this is devlog 25 and devlog 26 hasn't been released. Next up isn't fully confirmed to be coming to chapter 2, but is an interesting thing they're working on prior, and that's the lift animations. The lift animations was something they talked about working on. It's unclear if this is still happening or not, but I thought it'd be an interesting thing to at least mention that could potentially be coming. We're testing new lift animations today, making it a bit more fun, yeah or no? Yeah. So this one isn't guaranteed to be coming. Playing around. This was something they were testing and playing around with, so it's always a potential it could happen. Next up is Farm Raid Rework. And that's actually going to give us a bit of HUD for when there's an attack on the farm there. Oh, next we can actually see the rework for the farm raid and the HUD that's going to be using. So here we can actually see it says when to protect your farm and what level of the threat you are looking at. So currently there's 4 levels of threats. I'll see a little seed packet there, so it's based on plants. Hi mechanics. We started reworking the farm raids in survival mode. We needed some extra love. Raids will be way more fun and exciting with the new changes. Now let's start with hard change. We can see here, we can actually see that they're mostly just finished eating something as they've got plus 15 and 20 water. That's probably some of the hunger and thirst reworks. Obviously both of these were mentioned in item schematics and general rebalancing early on in the video. And we can see a few of them right here. Next up is drill spawners are being added. Let's get into it. Drill spawners are essentially little digging machines which will dig through the terrain and then shoot a bunch of bob capsules. You can see, drill pops off and it shoots a bunch of capsules out. Most likely this might be used for the raids to actually explain how a lot of bots will get there. These might just also be random encounters that might just happen in the world or in the underground. We don't know until chapter 2 comes out. Drill spawner. Even underground, there's no peace for having farming mechanics. When you're hard at work in the bowels of the earth, watch out for these burrowing enemy spawners. This will be quite interesting. One, it would explain how bots actually move around a little bit. But yeah. guess we'll see this in chapter 2. So that's every sort of feature related announcements that so far came out. There's not much left now. All we got left to cover is plants and outfits. Those will be thrown together. That'll be the last video of this 5-part series, essentially. Just going over everything for chapter 2. Hope you enjoyed. So until next time, I'll see you then. Goodbye.